What do you got going on these bikes? Because I see an OG hiding over here.
Because I'm going to keep it G real.
Damn.
Over there I got an OG, Super 73 OG. It came in for a controller reinstall. That's the controller of the guy.
Ooh, the feel of it, the paint, dude, is...
Yeah, it's got a matte finish to it.
Dude, it is so nice.
So he's got the Super 73 extended seat to go with it. You know how nice this was. That's what he's got out.
Oh, yeah.
Then he's got the ever famous Z1, which is in flawless condition.
How many years experience you got doing this?
At least got a couple years now. I used to be a mechanic for over 20 years, work on my own Harley, and I'm like, hey, you know, why not try e-bikes?
Warning, this video contains super awesome content not suitable for people who don't enjoy super awesomeness. Viewer discretion advised.
What is up, guys? It's your boy Volt Bolt coming to you with another one. Right now we're burning down the interstate. We're going to see the mechanic. We're going to see Benny. We got a special one for you today. We are going to be installing a new hub, I think on an S2, the Super 73 S2. If you guys have any questions or you need somebody to work on your bike, I'll leave Benny's information on the screen now. And I hope you guys enjoy. If you learned something new, leave a comment. Like always, like, comment, and subscribe. Alright guys, welcome back. Right now we're with the mechanic, aka Vega, aka Shy Rider 73.
Hey, Group A Super 73ers, this is all going to be about this free hub here. This one's an operational free hub. It spins one way, does not spin back the other way. As my broken one over here, this one spins this way and it spins that way, which is no bueno. Today I'm going to show you how to get this thing off, because there's nowhere on YouTube or anybody that shows you how to get this cog off to do any repairs and maintenance on it. So no further ado, let's get into it. Number one, it's going to look like this. So if you can't take the motor out, or you don't want to take the motor out, you're going to have to fabricate yourself a tool out of a socket that's going to end up looking like this by the time you get done. It has to have two pegs in it. These pegs actually go in line with two slots on the inside of that collar down there. It's really hard to tell, but there are two slots in there. Let me get some light on there while he's holding the camera. There's a slot there and a slot there.
Yeah, we see him.
You see them?
Yep.
That would go in there to loosen that collar out. But you need a special tool like this. If not, you could actually get a socket the same diameter, grind out these little notches to make the tool so you don't have to take the motor totally apart. This one I started taking it apart slightly. This one, if you take the motor out, I'd have to show you.
How common is a problem like this on these?
This one lasted me 1 year, which is kind of a shame. And this is not common, but I've actually spoken to one other person that's trying to replace his, and he didn't know how to do it. So I just verbally did a Facebook FaceTime with him to show him the tools and the procedure how to take it off on FaceTime. But now, with time and mileage, it's starting to become common because water's getting in there and rusting away the spring, which I'll show you once I get this one apart. And there's a bunch of bearings down in here.
So you say it's not common, and we get that, but you ride more than the average rider, right?
Yes, I ride every day of the week.
Okay.
6-7 days a week.
So with the amount of mileage that you have on this, is it normal wear and tear?
This should not happen, honestly, because it's something that's meant to last many miles without any issues.
And how many miles do you have on your bike?
Right now, I probably got maybe 5,800 miles on the bike.
5,800 miles on the bike, guys. Change the oil. That's the problem. Change your e-bike's oil.
So,
okay,
with the motor in, the way to get this gear off, you're going to need a gear holder, special tool to go inside here. You'd stick this in there, put this in to control the spin. Grab your wrench and just twist it off. It's already pre-loosened for the purposes of video. Take it out. And that's all it is. It's a threaded collar. And then just make sure you keep track of which way these spacers go. They're different thicknesses. There's another spacer, and then the main collar that everybody sees. When you do the 10-speed kit, you guys know you get rid of this to put your 10-speed kit on there. Now jumping back to this motor, because the shaft is out, there's a snap ring down here. So what you would do is take the snap ring out, because this motor is coming out, going back into this hub for warranty purposes.
And Benny, if we had somebody, how much would you charge if they didn't want to do this? How much would you charge somebody to do this for you?
Start and finish, it'd be $100.
$100, guys. $100. That's not bad. Like you just saw. Me personally, if I were to take that apart, I would have lost the order of which that goes, and when I went to go put it back together, it would have been a mess. And for $100, you can save yourself a huge headache. It's ShyRider73 on Instagram.
Now going back to this, now that the collar's out, you would have to take the motor apart, which I'm going to do now. All right, now that we got the rotor off, we got all the brackets off, we're going to get the motor out. So what I usually do is I grab a small piece of wood. What you do is you take the nut that belongs on the side over here, the smaller nut for the axle. I thread it in until it's flush. So if anything happens to the threads, you're able to back it off and clean the threads. And all I do is,
boom.
Boom. Now it's separated from the motor. Or the wheel, excuse me. So now that we got the motor out, we're in this state. This is the good wheel. It belongs to this motor. This is the bad wheel that's being warranted. The Super 73 can't get the parts or the parts internally to repair this. So I'm going to show you guys how to actually open this, because there's no video anywhere for this.
And what's the time and mileage to re-grease a motor?
The motor is actually self-greased. They put sufficient amount of grease in there, so you don't have to do it. You really never need to get in there. And when the motor started giving out, as I was talking to somebody else, this is basically your clutch. Because I took this motor apart looking for a separate clutch. This clutch is actually sandwiched inside these two plates. That's why these pins are flattened, because there's actually a spring and a cog in here that grabs the gears on top of this center portion, which is right here. So this is basically the making of a clutch. That center disc right there. It spins independently of. It spins independently. And so what happens when you hear clicking and grinding, which this one's starting to do as well, it's inside here. It's non-serviceable, but I'm going to be working on this soon in a future video. I'm going to be grinding these away to gain access to the clutch. So this is going to be a future project, probably within the next couple of weeks.
So our buddy Jeff with the ad motor, is that what's wrong with his?
That's exactly what's wrong
with his.
Right? His clutch went bad to the point that it won't grab the gears anymore. And it's supposed to spin one way and grab as it's supposed when the motor's energized. But the spring inside here internally is breaking. Right now, it's apart, motor's out, we're going to start using this tool that I have. I found it on Amazon. I had to machine it a little bit to fit in there perfect. And right here is like you see me twisting it. Well, you see me twisting it, it'll fall into the holes right there. The way this thing is supposed to be used is washer, put it through there, hold it.
Little wing nut there.
So the trick to this now, common sense would tell you it's tightened down to spin lefty-loosey. That's wrong. You got to spin to the right. You got to go clockwise to actually remove that threaded spacer that's down in there that's holding it. And once again, because I had this thing apart earlier, you loosen it. Back off on the nut, and there we go.
Man, he made that look easy, huh?
Well, when it's first on, it's tightest. But anyway, you have to turn it clockwise to loosen that nut in there.
You hear that, everybody? You gotta turn it clockwise. You gotta turn it clockwise to loosen your nut.
Take out all the stuff. All right, I'm gonna get a rag because this is gonna be showtime. All the bearings are gonna fall out of here. There's roughly about 50 bearings, small little ball bearings in there. So right now, you just twist this out. This bearing is replaceable. There's a bearing number that's the bearing size or number is stamped within that rubber washer if you ever need to replace it. And there it is. That's the threaded collar that holds it. If you look down in there, you got the first set of bearings. And let me see if I can get the top bearings out without disturbing the bottom bearings. And if we do, we can actually see the cogs and the spring that holds the cogs in place. And that's what actually broke on mine. All right, so we got the freewheel off. And this is what your catastrophe looks like. This is your free hub. They call it actually a free hub. That's your free hub housing. That's the free hub chassis. This is actually removable too. Once everything's taken apart, you just get a good old pipe wrench, and this one spins off lefty-loosey. The washer that goes in here is righty-loosey, but this one is actually lefty-loosey. But when it comes out, there are no free hubs on the market that I can find to replace this. It's proprietary to Super 73, which makes it pretty hard. And if you get close down in here, here's the cogs that actually grip the wheel. Let me see, it's not coming loose. There it is. This is what actually propels the bike forward, are these cogs. And because they're stuck down, the bike just won't go forward. But right now, that's how you remove this, and that's the most important part to that. This, you can actually clean it up, put grease, try to find a new spring for in here. They sell them. I don't know if it's the right size, but they do sell them online.
And are most e-bikes built just like this? Or is this proprietary to Super 73?
This free hub is proprietary to Super 73 because it was designed around this hub. Nobody makes this free hub. Because it's actually threaded inside here. It's not like a free hub that's on an S1, which is actually a gear, and it spins onto a threaded collar that's on the wheel. That's an easy one. This one is, I can't show you on the bomber, but the Chinese bomber actually has an external free hub that actually gets threaded onto the hub itself, which is easily replaced. These, the only people that make this free hub is the manufacturer of this wheel for Super 73. And that's it.
How long did it take you to get the parts that you needed from Super 73?
My new wheel that's sitting over here Took 5 months of back and forth just because they couldn't source the parts to fix that one. And in the meantime, my clutch started going out on this one, so I suggested just use the whole motor. And they finally did after 5 months. So, any questions on this freehub and on the tools needed for it? There.
Leave it in the comment section, guys, or
There.
go to Instagram.
Or hit me up on my Facebook page. You can DM me, Benito Vega. I'm in the Chicagoland area, and I'll answer any questions.
He's also an admin on the Chicago e-bike community, guys. In the flesh, baby. Peace.
Can anybody out there hear me?